other one, Oumuamua or
Oumuamua.
Oumuamua. So that one was a little odd.
That was weird. So it wasn't the weirdest thing about Oumuamua seems to be its path after it turned around the sun and accelerated. Like that was the standard model of physics said it shouldn't have done that, and it seems to have exhibited sort of motion that was not what we predicted it would do. That's as much as we can.
Acceleration?
It accelerated. It was outside.
Noticeable?
Yeah, it accelerated.
But like to the factor of what?
Well, not that. I think it was only a few percent, but it was not what should have happened according to the calculations that astronomers and the orbital dynamics people had done. That's what I understand was the most. Obviously, its shape and size.
There was something about its reflective properties as well, right?
Well, just because it was so long and narrow and it was tumbling, that's what caused it to. We would catch like the long side of it, which the brightness would increase. So we had this oscillating brightness on it, and then it passed through the system, and it's going, 87 kilometers per second or whatever it was, huge velocity, enough to escape the gravity of the sun, but it accelerated that's what I understand it did. It accelerated where it shouldn't have. Then there was another interstellar artifact that came in that was pretty much a comet. It behaved like a comet. It had a tail. It was off-gassing water. It's just an interstellar ball of rock and ice is what they say that was. It didn't get a lot of attention. Now this 3i Atlas thing is much larger. It's traveling much faster, apparently, than the previous two, but it's also not behaving like a comet. It has this aura of light that it's emitting around it for some reason. I saw a report that said you're almost seeing a metallic, like smelting signatures off it. I don't know how much credence I can give it, but we'll find out. Like it's going too fast to stop in our system unless it dramatically alters its velocity. But it'll pop out. We'll lose it on the other side of the sun, but then we should see it again on the way out. So we'll know one way or the other if it actually is going to. If it changes behavior. I mean, what's he put it? Avi Loeb put it like 40-60 or something, artificial to natural. But
really,
dude, it's so funny. I'm into Warhammer 40k in a big way, and it's just like I'm like, okay, we're going to be joining the Imperium here soon, boys. So all hail the Omnissiah. That thing might be a Mechanicus vessel. I don't know.
If that's how they travel, I'd be very disappointed. They just shoot through the sky. Well, it takes months.
If it slows down,
I know, but I'm looking for portals. I'm looking for, an advanced civilization that visits us. I don't want the advanced Vikings.
Right.
Yeah, I want the advanced scientists from the 21st century.
Open up the portal.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the ones who come fast on a burning spaceship, they're the dangerous ones. Because they're probably
right.
Yeah, they're probably the warlike conquerors, the ones who are going to rob us of our minerals and force us into slavery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That seems like if that's how you're rocking it, you're still doing it the way we do it, where you have something thrusting you insanely fast through the cosmos.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Do you know that like the whole dark forest thing, like the dark forest theory?
No, what's that?
This came out of it was the Three Body Problem. Great series of books by a Chinese author got turned into a
amazing
TV show.
Netflix show.
Great show. The books are phenomenal too, and it's just. But it's this idea that, look, we shouldn't be making noise. It's like, imagine you're a hunter in a dark forest. So it's just, you're out there, there might be other things out there. And it's this like a philosophical engagement of like, what should you do? Should you light a fire and make a whole bunch of noise in the dark forest that's full of, it's full of predators. You don't know where they are. They don't know where you are. What's your behavior? What should you do? Should you see another predator? Should you be friendly? What's the risk to you to do it? And these could be like, you could be there with a bow and arrow. This guy could have a tank. The other guy could have some other energy weapon, whatever. You don't. There's massive differences in capability and scale, and pretty much every scenario works out to like what you should do is just be quiet, and if you see something, you should eliminate the threat. That's kind of the way it goes in the dark forest. It's like, it's too risky to reveal yourself. You should basically eliminate that threat if you can do so safely. And you apply that to kind of the galaxy, and to some extent, I feel like we're the equivalent of like a baby in a cot that's screaming around a roaring fire because and there's leopards out there,
right?
And because we're just like sending these signals out into space for 100-something years now. And we just hope, hey, we're friendly, please.
Well, you have to hope that something is so evolved that it's gotten past war, and it's gotten past the way we behave. And so we're hoping and assuming that Space
Brothers.
Yeah, that Space Daddy, Space Brothers will be benevolent and wise beyond our imagination, and that they will come here and want to take care of us and give us information and hook us up.
That's my response. I had this discussion. I've had this discussion a few times, and my response to a lot of that is, well, we can take nature. What happens when we take nature? Let's look at the apex predator, whether it's in the sea, in the air, or on the land. Apex predators don't tolerate competition. They don't suffer any attacks. They don't. I mean, we just dominate. Like if it's in your way, it's inconvenient, you kill it. If it has something you want, we take it. If those bees have honey, we take it. Like it's just we're not like helping them. You know, we're not like trying to teach the dolphins how to talk. Like there's still parts of the world where we're just eating them. You know, like I don't know. Nature suggests that apex predator, but maybe we're just. I think this is the other element that you're saying is maybe evolution leads you past those primal nature at some point.
The territorial primate instincts that we exhibit, like hopefully one day, because clearly we're on a pathway to that, right? Yes. We're clearly much kinder now, at least locally. You know, if you don't live in Gaza, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like if you're in the middle of a war zone, you're like, what are you talking about? This is as bad as it's ever been all throughout human history. It's the same behavior exhibited over and over and over again. Yeah. What we want is aliens that are 1,000,000 years more advanced. We don't want aliens that are 1,000 years more advanced.
Got it.
Because they might be just like us, but way better.
just
that's what we
guns.
don't, right? Because as soon as we start going into the cosmos, if we venture into the cosmos in 20 years, we're going to be the same animal, right? We're not going to be significantly different unless we integrate with technology and remove the ego and
emotions.
All the other, mushrooms.
Well, no, emotions and stuff, but maybe mushrooms help us get
that
there
too.
for sure.
Emotions, all the things, the human reward systems that exist that we currently struggle with. We would be the same way if we just think of what we justify on Earth in terms of destruction of habitat, of native species, animals that we kill, all the different things that we do on Earth, factory farming. Now imagine, why would we care about these lizard people that live, in caves on some fucking stupid planet? You know, we would probably kidnap them, we'd kill them, we'd pickle them, we'd bring them back home, we'd freeze them.
Got gold in them caves?
Right. Look at what Columbus did when they, arrived and took the natives and had them get gold, and if they didn't, they cut their arms off. Horrific, terrifying things. So imagine, there's no evidence that aliens are currently doing that, which is the promising thing. Right? Even the abductions, although I'm sure they're terrifying if they're true, they seem rather benign. Like, in fact, in the Travis Walton case, do you know that one? One of the most famous ones.
Not off the top of my head.
Real simple, 1970s, he's a logger. He's working with a group of guys. They see a ship. He runs toward it. He gets hit with a beam of energy, gets knocked back, unconscious. His friends flee. They come back. They're yelling at each other. We got to go back. We got to get him. They go back. He's gone. All four of them get investigated for murder. They tell the story. No one believes them. They all pass polygraph tests. 5 days later, he shows up. He finds a payphone, makes a phone call, and has this fucking insane story. But the story was that they took him aboard the craft and healed him and communicated with him, and that there was a bunch of different types of these beings. And then he has been telling the exact same story ever since the 1970s. So, but relatively benign compared to what we would do.
For sure.
Like we fucking, we shoot elephants.
It turns into Avatar.
Yeah, think about the horror.
Something that I always say, it's a great quote from Christopher Hitchens, which is, we're just not the end of that evolutionary chain. We're just the current version of humanity. Our frontal lobes are too big. Our frontal lobes are too small. Our adrenaline glands are too big. Our thumb-forefinger opposition isn't all it's cracked up to be.
And we love violence.
We love violence.
Our national sport is dudes who are enormous running at each other full speed.
True.
And the other one is guys punching and kicking each other.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of it's kind of crazy. We're so high, and then we're also involved in multiple wars simultaneously, at least proxy.
Yeah, proxy wars.
And at least human beings are involved in a significant amount of war, always.
Yeah, this is literally the status quo throughout history. I mean, it's just we've always been at war with each other. I mean, I still do. Personally maintain the idea that it is still the best time to be alive.
100%.
Technologically speaking, but also, I mean, obviously we're much more aware of conflict around the world, but on a percentage scale of what it's been like in the past, it's actually far less than it has been. Like, even though it's terrible when it happens, but
Yes.
we're in an era where there's actually less of that going on, and
Yes.
hopefully that can continue. I actually genuinely think that it's one of the reasons why this whole investigation into the past is important to me. Like, I haven't really talked about it in videos or put it down. It's part of the book I'm writing for sure. It's a big part because it's not just some benign investigation into the past. I genuinely think it could have a significant impact on our future because that concept you talked about it of like this linear progression, right? I mean, in general, we get taught in school that, okay, we were Stone Age dudes, we were in caves, civilization happened, and how many thousands of years later, here we are. This is the only way that an advanced civilization can happen, is on this path. Don't worry about it. It's almost like it's preordained. Just worry about next election cycle, next quarterly result, whatever, right? And we just don't think about it. This is this concept, I think it's a fundamental pillar of what it means to be a human being today. It's in everybody's mind to some degree. Like, all right, Stone Age to us, we're advanced. This is the only way it happens. I do think that if you can change that at that fundamental level to this cyclical version that is an oscillation between civilization and cataclysm, and this idea that, okay, we've actually risen in the past. We've become relatively high technology. We've become civilized, and it happened. It would have been different to us, but we fell. We fell again, and we're somewhere on this oscillation and this circular motion between civilization and cataclysm, and on a long enough time scale, we know it's going to happen again.
Yes.
Right, and if you can change that, if you could change that fundamental concept in people, like that's what we teach people in schools. Okay, so we're rising again. We're at this crazy point in time where our technology is super advanced. We can solve some of these problems, but we know on this timescale, if we don't do something about it, we might end up like our ancestors did. I genuinely think that stands a chance of like changing some of our behavior and some of our, like, a little less money on tanks and guns, a little bit more money on space exploration, make solving the longer term problems a bit more of a priority. And it's altruistic and it's like a crazy goal. I know it's altruistic as all hell, but it's just, I think there's precedent for it too, though. I mean, whether you agree with it or not, it doesn't matter. But the fact is that the term climate change has changed our behavior over the last 25 years, right? It's changed. If you think about what's happened with that concept and that movement, it changes investment decisions. It changes our interactions with each other, with the planet. It's changed our behavior in the way we think about stuff. It's like this has crept into our zeitgeist as a species, and it's changed our behavior. So I look at some of this stuff in the past as it not just being some harmless investigation into things. I think it actually getting to the root cause of what's happened in the past actually could help us in our future. I think it's what drives, I think, my interest in it in a lot of ways too.
It's another piece of an example, of how primitive we are, that the actual climate is political. That's bananas. Pollution is political.
Yes. Well, if you disagree, I always find it crazy that if you even question any of some of the official narrative about this stuff, the first thing you've got to do is make sure you decry and say, no, pollution bad.
Yeah.
Just because I think that some of the science might be off. I'm not saying let's pollute the oceans. No, let's be stewards.
Yeah. Well, it's also the amount of time that we've polluted the oceans in is spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
What we've done just in terms of the depopulation of the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
That's nuts. Like 90+% of all big fish are gone.
Yeah.
In a short amount of time. Like a couple hundred years of hardcore fishing.
Yeah,
and we fished out the ocean, man.
Just about.
That's nuts. Not only that, we polluted the fuck out of it to the point where you're not even supposed to eat it every day.
Right, which is more of a pity.
That's crazy.
Oh, I agree.
That's crazy. If you eat sushi every day, people don't recommend it.
On the beer bottle.
On the
bottom of a Mariana Trench.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Man. Yep.
That's how gross we are. Somebody was over there and they chucked one overboard.
Yeah, it looks like Heineken.
And it looks pretty recent, right? It's got the fucking label on it.
Yeah.
Right? The label hasn't even eroded.
The Challenger Deep.
If it's that recent, why isn't it covered in sediment? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The surface covers things up and moves over time. It probably won't be there forever. It probably won't be sitting on the surface like that.
It's still floating around. I don't think it's.
Oh wow.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Oh right.
It's moving around.
Somehow buoyant.
Oh, it's wow.
It should sink, I would imagine.
Unless there's some sort of a downward or upward current.
Yeah.
Scientists find beer bottle at the deepest point of the ocean. That's so bananas.
6.7 miles, 35,000 feet below the surface. That is.
How does it
I
not
don't wanna
implode, but that sub does?
Oh, yeah, no air.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Wouldn't last long if there's a cap on it, that's for sure. But yeah.
How
Yeah, I don't want to
nuts.
go down there.
Like, fuck all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather watch a video. Not only that, they were watching a video. That's what's even crazier.
Yeah.
You
They're
go all
in
the
it.
way down and you're watching a
It's gonna
screen.
be- Yeah.
It's not like there's a window. You can't have a fucking window. It's
No,
too
exactly.
deep.
Yeah. Yeah, like one little, or just if there's one just giant thick thing at the front, you kind of like.
Imagine the freak out of being at the bottom.
James Cameron knows. I mean, he went down that. Yeah. Not for
He
me.
went there by himself.
I know he did. It's crazy. In that, he did it right. But
I guess. If you're gonna do it.
yeah, you're right.
Why is he doing that?
I want
James,
four
we
feet of
need you.
titanium around me, like in a
Yeah.
sphere.
Yeah, we need you to make movies.
Maybe not a carbon fiber tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially not one that the engineer said wasn't really designed for those depths.
Yeah, that cracked. Did you ever watch that documentary? It's, dude, they're putting that thing out. They do the scale model and they're testing it under pressure, and they're all standing around in the room and it just goes bang. Like and every test they did, it went bang and blew. And they're like, oh, that's
they did
fine.
like 20 successful trips with that.
Oh, they did a bunch, yeah. Well, even the scariest part is like when you're in the footage with it and you can hear it popping. Like it's literally the carbon fiber strands snapping. Oh, it's terrible. It's terrifying.
Imagine being one of those people that successfully made that journey and then the nightmares that you have every day.
Oh, like the
Because
one
you
right before
barely
it.
missed it. Yeah, the one right before. Barely missed getting instantaneously destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen the animation, the
Oh.
computer recreation of what it would look like.
Yeah,
Everyone
implosion.
Yeah, you turn to blood cells.
Yeah.
Just splatter.
Yeah, you wouldn't even, it said that it happens faster than the time it would take for you to even register that it happened, like for your senses to register in your brain that it happened. It's over.
The pressure.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
just the fact that we're that weird, that we choose to do that we have technology, we're like, let's see,
yeah.
let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny the way they skirted the. I mean, he signed everyone up as like basically expedition team members. That's how they got around. I'm not selling seats for this. Like they're coming on. They all had a technical role supposedly, and it was like he was getting around the regulations and the safety regulations. But yeah, no interest in that sort of pressure. Man. I mean, I dive, but
That
not like that.
diving is swimming.
Pretty much.
It's just like hardcore swimming.
Should not be implosion.
Yeah.
Haven't seen this.
It would happen in 20 milliseconds, and it takes like 150 milliseconds for your brain to
That's. Yeah, no, thank you.
God. Oh my God. Why does this freak me out so much? It's because a guy went on with his son.
Yeah, it's a terrible story. I mean, it's just.
Why? I wish I was friends with that guy. I'd be like, dude,
Yeah.
no.
It's not the place I'd want to explore. Like, there is some stuff off Cuba, they say they reckon pyramids, it's kilometers deep in the ocean. But
I've seen that. I've seen internet videos.
yeah,
on it. I
like
don't
the
know if-
imaging.
Yeah.
But I did dive. We were in Alexandria. I dived on the lighthouse. So there's and actually there was a news article just the other day about the Egyptians were pulling like more stuff out of the water there at Heraklion and at the lighthouse of Alexandria. Quite an interesting story. And we were in Alexandria, dive in the Mediterranean on the Egyptian side, and I mean it's amazing. There's massive columns and massive megalithic blocks in the water from when that the lighthouse it fell down or it collapsed. There was an earthquake. And so you're in the water, but you're diving over like megalithic blocks like these and huge columns, and it has a history that stretches back too, right? It's the megalithic stuff is what's associated with the very earliest periods of building. All the stuff that happened later is typically not that big, but yeah, this is actually
what's nuts. That's what's nuts is that
Yeah.
the older you go, the bigger the stones are.
well, and what's funny is when we looked into the erosion at places like the Giza Plateau, you have 2 or 3 feet. It's not on the Sphinx. Everybody knows about the Sphinx enclosure erosion, but you look at places like the Pyramid Temple of the Middle Pyramid. There's some of the blocks on the Great Pyramid, the casing stones that are there that we can see now that they've taken the boat museum away. And up and down the causeway, there is limestone blocks with up to 2 feet of erosion. Like it's these waves. I think I have a directory on that drive with the erosion on it. And you have to juxtapose that against all the other stuff they say is 4th dynasty, right? So right next to the Valley Temple, there is another structure that's built from small limestone blocks. Doesn't have any erosion, not like the Valley Temple does. The Western Cemetery that's behind the Great Pyramid is beautifully made. It's smaller limestone blocks. It's apparently older. So yeah, here's a good example. This is the mortuary or the Pyramid Temple. So you can see where the face of that block originally was, but it's been eroded in like up to 2 feet in places. There's huge amounts of erosion that you can find in a lot of places at the Giza Plateau. Yet at the same time, you have what are said to be contemporary structures, said to have been built roughly in the same time. Sometimes they say they're even older, that have just no erosion at all, made from the same stone, made allegedly by the same people. And
what force did they attribute that erosion to?
Well, it's wind and sand, right? That's what they will say. Look, this is just regular weathering. And here's the crazy thing about these structures: this was also cased in granite. These are the inside blocks. So this structure was fully cased in like 4 feet thick granite blocks.
And that was, that was stolen and quarried?
They were taken, but it would have protected this stone from erosion for however many thousands of years. You find there's another picture in here of like the that's so there. Like, see, this is said to, like that picture I just showed with the heavy erosion. That's where the arrow is at the Pyramid Temple. No, back to that one. Yep. So that deep erosion's at that Pyramid Temple. This one wall to the right, they say this is older than that, and that this has never been cased in granite. That other stuff was cased in granite. It's megalithic. There's a block in that complex that's 450 tons, and it was cased in granite. Now, there's been studies, right? So we know how long it takes to weather limestone. There's been a bunch of studies. The US, the government departments have studied it. They put limestone blocks on the top of a building in Washington, D.C. in a government department and studied it over 11 years. There's endless cemeteries with conveniently carved and dated limestone pieces in the form of headstones that you can measure. So you can go, okay, this was carved in whatever year this guy died, and as you can measure it and over time get a sense for like what's it take with rain, with wind. We've done studies of like, all right, we put these blocks in a river and we let it wash over, like a very highly erosive environment where we've got running water running over the stone, and how long it takes to erode. For some of the erosion that you can, if you reference those studies for this type of hard limestone, to get 2 feet of erosive wear on those blocks just with regular wind, weathering, and this is in places that have a lot more rainfall than Giza. You're talking dates from like 60 to 122,000 years to get that much erosion on it. I mean, and I think that's in a more erosive environment than what the desert is.
What?
So yeah, that's it side by side. So you have, literally they'll tell you that thing on the right is older. This was built by Khufu. This is supposedly Khafra, his son. But it's completely different. So this is that Taylor to Industries thing as well, but they attribute all this to the same people. But you can baseline this because it's the same stone, it's at the same elevation level, it's supposedly the same age. The differences are in the construction. Like, it's megalithic, and a lot of this stuff was encased in granite. This is the Sphinx Temple down at the other end of the causeway. Same thing. So all the megalithic stuff that was cased in granite has severe erosion, yet there's buildings all around it. And up and down the plateau, they say are built at the same time, yet it's smaller blocks, it's not as nice work, and it's not eroded like that. Like,
and what's the conventional explanation from that discrepancy?
They just don't address it. Like, I've not seen anyone. Well, I mean, because the argument's always been the Sphinx Temple, like the Sphinx enclosure, right? Robert Schoch, John Anthony West, he talked about the fact that you needed thousands of years of rainfall erosion to get those patterns on the walls. That's where the discussion's been focused. It's not. There was no comparison made. It was always like, well, this, the geologists and the experts say it's wind and sand, it's water erosion, but then you have the archaeologists and the Mark Landers saying, no, it's wind and sand. But I think there's a better argument to be made when you start to do comparative work like this. You go, all right, hang on, let's take the Western Cemetery behind the Great Pyramid, supposedly built by Khufu, 4th dynasty. It's at the same elevation level. It's the same stone type as the mortuary or the pyramid temple of the Middle Pyramid complex. So after Khufu. So if he built that, then his son Khafra built this one. How come this one, which was also cased in granite and this wasn't, how come this is so much more eroded than this? It's at the same elevation level. It's the same stone. You would assume that it's been subjected to the same weathering. Why is this so weathered and that is not? It's that you can't explain it any other way. Yeah, I've not seen anyone respond to that argument with anything that makes any remote sense.
Remote sense would dictate one's older.
Yeah, I mean, I like to show people which one looks older.
Same stone.
Same stone, same elevation level, same everything.
Has to be.
Yeah, I mean it's. And again, we know
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And it's not like this. This is very hard nummulitic limestone. Like, it's full of fossils. It's not a soft limestone.